Welcome back, guys. Zac here. Today we're going to read Far Over the Misty Mountains Cold, a Tolkien classic. Enjoy. Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day, to seek our pale enchanted gold. The dwarves of yore made mighty spells, while hammers fell like ringing bells, in places deep where dark things sleep, in hollow halls beneath the fell. For ancient king and elvish lord, there many a gleaming golden hoard they shaped and wrought, and light they caught, to hide in gems on hilt of sword, on silver necklaces they strung, the flowering stars on crowns they hung, the dragon fire on twisted wire, they meshed the light of moon and sun. Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day, to claim our long forgotten gold. Goblets they carved there for themselves, and harps of gold where no man delves. There lay they long, and many a song was sung unheard by men or elves. The pines were roaring on the heights, the wind was moaning in the night, the fire was red, it flaming spread. The trees like torches blazed with light, the bells were ringing in the dale, and men looked up with faces pale. The dragon's ire, more fierce than fire, laid low their towers and houses frail. The mountain smoked beneath the moon. The dwarves, they heard the tramp of doom. They fled the hall to dying fall, beneath his feet, beneath the moon, far over the misty mountains grim, to dungeons deep and caverns dim. We must away ere break of day, to win our harps and gold from him. The wind was on the withered heath, but in the forest stirred no leaf. Their shadows lay be night or day, and dark things silent crept beneath. The wind came down from mountains cold, and like a tide it roared and rolled. The branches groaned, the forest moaned, and leaves were laid upon them all. The wind went on from west to east, all movement in the forest ceased, but shrill and harsh across the marsh, its whistling voices were released. The grasses hissed, their tassels bent, the reeds were rattling on it went. Oh, a shaken pool under heaven's cool, where racing clouds were torn and rent, it passed the lonely mountain bare, and swept above the dragon's lair. There, black and dark, lay boulders stark, and Fit left the world and took its flight. Over the wide seas of the night, the moon set sail upon the gale, and stars were fanned to leaping light. Lying smoke was in the air, under the mountain, dark and tall. The king has come unto his hall, his foe is dead, the worm of dread, and ever so his foes shall fall. The sword is sharp, the spear is long, the arrow swift, the gate is strong. The heart is bold that looks on gold, the dwarves no more shall suffer wrong. The dwarves of yore made mighty spells, while hammers fell like ringing bells, in places deep where dark things sleep, in hollow halls beneath the fells. On silver necklaces they strung the light of stars, on crowns they hung the dragon fire from twisted wire, the melody of harps they rung. The mountain throne once more is freed, O wandering folk, the summons heed. Come haste, across the waste, the king of friend and kin has need. Now call we over the mountains cold, come back unto the caverns old. Here at the gates the king awaits, his hands are rich with gems and gold. The king has come unto his hall, under the mountain dark and tall. The worm of dread is slain and dead, and never so our foes shall fall. Farewell we call to hearth and hall, though wind may blow and rain may fall, we must away ere break of day. Far over the wood and mountain tall, to Rivendell, where elves yet dwell, in glades beneath the misty fell. Through moor and waste we ride in haste, and whither then we cannot tell, with foes ahead, behind us dread. Beneath the sky shall be our bed, until at last our toll be past, our journey done, our errand spent. We must away, we must away, we ride before the break of day. Now, I'm unsure if you've heard the full version of that wonderful poem from the book The Lord of the Rings. A beautiful work by Tolkien. It's one of my favorites, hands down. When you hear Mr. Holland sing his version of Over Misty Mountains Cold, it is such a stunning piece. And I don't necessarily lack the skill to make my own recording of different voices and overlay them. It's just time, very consuming, and I'll do it one day. But I will mix together quite a few different tracks in the backing for this, so I hope you enjoy it. And one day in the future, when I go and do proper readings of the book, I will actually record music, my own instruments that I've made over the years, different guitars, things like that. I'll definitely record and do a lot of voice work and the singing and stuff like that. That's one thing I'd love to learn properly, is how to do a good monk chant, and the technicalities of layering that and being able to do different chords and things like that. But for this, if I tried to figure that out, it'd take me another month, and I'd be spending just all that time on that. So for now, I use a lot of different tracks from Epidemic Sound, and I'll lay them all together through all the different stems, and we'll see what we come up with. So I hope you enjoy. I'll see you next week.